everyone, and welcome to Say Report Jr. I'm one of your hosts, Dale Decker.
And I'm your other host, Zack.
And this is a podcast that you should be listening to, subscribe to, and downloading every single week. Yeah.
There you go. I mean, yes. I forget what comes after that. We focus so hard on the opening that I forget what comes after that.
I pretty much flip-flopped everything, and because I just started the episode because I was afraid of this monster burp that might happen.
We might get interrupted by our bodies. We might get interrupted by the internet. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen on this episode of the Say Report Jr. All I know is that we got some stuff to talk about. Stuff and things about people being dumb. And
really?
What?
People being dumb? Wait, where did that come from?
The internet being mean to video games. You said that. We discussed this before I started recording.
Okay, the internet's mean to everybody.
And we're gonna
the internet's
talk
mean to
about
everybody.
Neff Campbell.
That's the real problem.
And we're gonna talk
we
about
are
Neff
gonna talk
Campbell.
about that. And Timothy Oliphant.
And Timothy Oliphant. And Lord Metcalf. But more on that. I tried to
tease.
Tease.
If we
That's
did
basically
commercials,
our episode, guys.
If we did commercials, that would be better. To be like, more on that later. But for now, let's throw it off to our sponsor.
Exactly.
Mr. Clean? I don't know.
Mr. Clean.
That was the first thing that came to mind.
Gets your hard drives clean in a flash.
There's so many podcast basic ass advertisers I could have gone with, and instead I went, who advertises 50s shows?
Yeah.
I bet it's Mr. Clean and Ovaltine.
Ovaltine would have been a good one. Jeez. Oh man. But yeah, let's just get into it, I guess. We've already gotten into the craziness that is our show. How have you been? I mean, I feel like we just saw each other. It's so weird that we live in the same state.
I know, it's so weird because now, we hit a situation where we hang out 3 days before we record. We hang out 3 days before we record it, and then we don't know what to talk about because usually our show is, let me tell you about a thing I did, but you were there.
Yep. You cut out for a second there, but it's okay.
Yeah, you did too. I'm trying to ignore it as we go and see what happens.
Me too.
Yeah, it keeps happening for 2 seconds at a time.
Hey guys, if we cut out, we're professionals. We're just going to keep going on and moving on. Might get some jokes. Anyway.
So, let's see. Before we get to the stuff we did while we hanged out. Hanged out.
Yep.
That's English major over here. I have been playing. So, my update to the Link to the Past Super Metroid randomizer is that I know for a fact, because Devin beat it, that the seed is beatable.
Yes.
But we hit a little snag in the formula.
Oh, goodness.
And that snag is that Zack is bad at
talking because it got cut off again because of internet.
Darn it. Zack is bad at Link to the Past, is what I was trying to say.
Oh, okay. I could have filled that in for them.
Yeah, I have been in... Oh, God, this episode is going to be nigh unlistenable. It's fine. It's like episode 53. They're either on board or they're not.
Yeah. They're on board with the quirks.
I have been stuck in Ganon's tower.
Wait,
for days.
Really?
I finally got to Ganon, but I finally got to Ganon with 3 hearts. I can't beat Ganon with 3 hearts.
You gotta buy some. You gotta buy some potions. You gotta
the
get
problem
yourself
is with
some
the randomizer, I can't remember where the freaking shops are because I don't play Link to the Past often enough.
Okay, wait. Do you have bottles and a?
I've got bottles and fairies. I have an option to go get fairies. I have been able to do that. The problem is that I then have to get up the tower, and by the time I get up the tower, I've used both of my fairies to get there.
I'm pretty sure, unless it changes in the randomizer, this is from my one time of being Link to the Past and using this. There is a fairy fountain, maybe a room away or a floor away from Ganon.
Oh.
So
I wonder.
You could do that
Yes,
You'll
I know
have to
where it
get.
is.
The thing is that you will have to like get back up,
Mm,
but there's how many bottles do you have? This
I've
is
got 3.
crazy. This is crazy. This is what we're discussing. Okay,
That's
so
fine. We're
so there.
both being Devin today. It's
Yes.
fine. How many
So
bottles do you have?
there should be 4 fairies at that fairy fountain. You use 1 fairy to fully heal yourself, and then you catch the other 3 fairies.
Yeah.
That was my strategy going into Ganon.
And you know what? I know exactly what it is. I think I found the room, but I didn't know how to get to it because it's on like the other side of a gap or something.
Yeah, yes it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Devin might be able to. He doesn't usually use fairy fountains. I don't think. But he should be able to like point you to it like better than I can. I just know that that was my exact strategy going into Ganon.
Oh man.
So
Yeah, I definitely like that has been my problem because I'm like, oh right, there's the part of the game where I have to beat it.
yeah,
I whoops.
and then and once you lose again, and you shouldn't have to go that far back up the tower.
It definitely sent me back to the bottom of the tower. Here's the thing.
That I might be misremembering. But
I mean, here's the thing with Ganon set because that I mean, I can't imagine that beating Aghanim first would change that because I didn't have to do that. I haven't.
Wait, what? You didn't have to. You have to be Aghanim for.
No,
wait.
you don't. Not in a randomizer.
What?
Because part of what's randomized is what you get from the dungeons.
Oh, people, yeah,
So
I know, that's
I got the 7
true.
crystals without needing to.
Without needing to
Aghanim.
be Aghanim, I had to fill that out. fill that in for you.
Yes.
Okay? So you got the 7 crystals without having to be Aghanim.
Yes.
Got you. But in Ganon's tower. Wait. Oh. My head is. Wait, no.
To remember, items are all the items are randomized. So I mean, like whatever you get from Aghanim beating him, that's important. I already picked up somewhere else.
Yeah, no. Okay, but Aghanim like is the first person you fight in the game, right? Is that what
you
you're
get
talking?
you get the 3 pendants, you get the Master Sword, and then you go fight him.
Yeah, okay. So you didn't have to do that part. But
Nope.
I'm pretty sure in Ganon's Tower you have to fight Aghanim. Because you
yes.
refight.
Sorry, I'm fighting him in that. Yes, I'm fighting him at the top of the or the 7th floor of the tower. Sorry, I meant the first Aghanim fight.
I was like,
I meant in the
hold
castle.
on.
I don't have to do the first. Yeah, no, I meant I don't have to do his
his very
original
first one.
fight.
Yeah, no, that does not affect where you start. But I thought that it starts you close to Ganon because it's like, yeah, you've got this far.
Well,
maybe,
I mean,
maybe
whenever
it doesn't.
you manage,
I don't remember.
the thing is, whenever you manage to pick up the Master Sword. No. So sorry, I was thinking of the wrong fight again.
No, Ganon.
I definitely lost again. I lost again and started at the front door at the bottom of the first floor of the tower.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Fairies. Do the fairies.
I will look. Okay, I'll look at the fairies. On to the next game that's kicking my ass. I borrowed Sekiro from Devin, which is the newest game from the people that made Dark Souls and Bloodborne.
Yep.
And other games before that. I think people keep forgetting that like From Software did not start with Demon Souls and Dark Souls. They made the Armored Core games like way back in the day. So they made like mech games and stuff.
Yeah.
But Sekiro is like the latest in their line of the like Souls.
Yep. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Yep. Soulsborne style games is what I said.
Well, what was it that you said? Because we didn't hear it.
Sekiro is the latest in their like line of like super hard games that they've been making since Demon Souls came out.
Got you.
But what's really interesting is that Sekiro, unlike Dark Souls and I think Demon Souls, which Dark Souls is just like a remake of, and Bloodborne, like you're not creating a character and in this like super vague world. You're a specific you're a specific character in like ancient Japan playing through a very specific story.
Yeah.
but it is still ultra freaking hard. Oh my God, is it hard? Oh, is it so very hard, Dale?
How hard is it, Zach?
Oh my God, the reason I fell off of Bloodborne was the first game I bought for my PlayStation 4. It came with the Uncharted games.
Mm-hmm.
Those don't count. I got I
Yeah.
bought Bloodborne for $20, and I have never.
And he's never beaten it to this day. I don't know if that's true. I'm just filling the dead air because we're not restarting this episode.
I have never
refuse.
beaten it. Oh, this is gonna be such a bad episode.
I
The
called
bad
it.
episode.
I called it.
The title of this episode will be The Bad Episode, and then I will figure out the rest of it later. I gotta figure out my internet connection because everything was fine until last week.
I totally called that you've never beaten Bloodborne. By the way.
No, of course not. I've never beaten Dark Souls either. Dark Souls
I've never
is
played
great.
them, so
Dark Souls is great because I got it for like $2, and I thought I had gotten really far at it, and then I learned I got like less than a third of the way through the game, and I went, fuck it, I'm never opening this game again. So
nice. Beautiful.
oh man. So I like the thing with Sekiro is that it's a little bit more interesting to me because it has an actual story to it.
Yeah.
I mean, the other games have a story to them. You just never see it. It's nowhere near as obvious a story.
Well, it's like Skyrim. Like I feel like Skyrim
I mean, kind of,
doesn't
except
have a
Skyrim has
story.
Skyrim
Skyrim has nothing because.
but even
Oh, that was
Skyrim
that
has
was
the
a
main quest.
twofer. That was a twofer cutout.
Skyrim has a main quest and stuff, so like you know what's going on. It's just that you can kind of go and bullshit your way through around the rest of the world.
Yeah.
When I say like Bloodborne and Dark Souls don't have an obvious story, I mean they like you're specifically are like dropped into a world and it's like, I don't know, you figure out what the fuck's going on. Sometimes there's characters that tell
Fair
you what's
enough.
going on, but their whole job is to be like, hey, shit's really fucked, you should fix it. Like that's about as much information as you get from people in those games.
Nice.
So Sekiro is like a much more like straightforward, like there are cutscenes and there are characters you return to on a regular basis, and there's like a history to the character you're playing.
Yeah, that sounds like story.
Yeah. And what's really sad is that like I have played through there's the opening area, which is like the tutorial area, and then
and then there's another area
and then
that you
there's
play
like a
into,
flash.
and then because
The main path. The main path is what I said.
cool.
And then this would be really bad when like for some reason you can't hear me, but somehow GarageBand has picked me up and you're just repeating things over me. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be such a bad recording.
fine. We're professionals.
Yeah. For your professionals, I would have figured this problem out, but for this week.
Proclaimed professionals.
So
there's the main path to Sekiro,
I'm in,
and
like-
then like the flashback.
Right, so I'm in the flashback, like the first flashback. God knows how much. Like someone was like, "Oh, it took me 45 hours to play this game." I was like, "I think I've been playing for 10.
Jeez.
I'm not a fourth of the way through this game.
Yeah, no, that's
There's no
crazy.
way I'm a fourth of the way through this game."
Jesus. Yeah.
And I got excited the other day because I beat like not even a mid boss. Like there are main bosses and there are mid-level bosses, and then there are just guys that are hard to beat. And I got excited because I beat one of the guys that was hard to beat after like an hour and a half of beating my head against fighting.
And didn't you say that you you screamed at the top of your lungs? We'll never know the answer to this question.
I very audibly went, "Yes, motherfucker. Yes."
Yes. That's the best feeling. That is the best feeling in a video game.
And that's what like those games specifically provide,
Yeah.
right? Like more than many others. That's what those games provide for you, but they are such a pain in the ass to get to those points sometimes. That Bloodborne, I just got tired of it.
Oh man.
I've watched people play Bloodborne and play through parts I've never seen before, and all I could think was, man, that would have been cool to get to. But I never would have put the effort in to get through that fight.
I gotcha.
So that's been me, beating my
Nice.
head against the wall with video games.
That's fun.
How have you been?
Oh, me. I've been good. I've been a lot of not video game, Yeah, that's wrong. A lot of movie stuff has happened in the
Yeah, no,
past.
I'm the video game one. You're the movie one.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
how this.
How could I forget? How could I forget this simple dichotomy? Is that the word? That's not the word. What does
Something
that
like
mean?
that.
I don't know. The simple structure that we have. Yeah, no, a lot of movies. I did try to go back to shiny hunting. I did try to catch a shiny Meowth. I did finally catch my shiny Nidoran, and then I tried to catch a shiny Meowth for my parents' anniversary. Have not caught that shiny Meowth. And
You were trying to get that 4 days ago when
Yeah.
we hung out.
Yes, I was. I have not gone back since. But I still could, and I still have my counter up as my chain count, like, combo. I still have my chain combo, but as I explained to you, Meowth is a bitch of a shiny because it's basically the same color as normal Meowth, except it has, like, purplish pink features. And usually when you... I really hope you say your joke. I shouldn't have said that. Anyways, when you, do chain combos and whatnot, Chanseys show up. And I feel like you cut out.
I was listening, and
Oh.
you were waiting for me to make my terrible joke. Is that the thing? You said Chansey, and I didn't jump in with my bad joke about Chanseys.
Yeah.
Is that why you're up? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because I feel like the world needs to experience not just me.
What? That sometimes you just lose your chance
you
when a
cut
Chansey appears? Ah!
You,
Chance
like-
and Chansey. That's what I said.
Yeah,
I
that's
said
it.
Chance,
That's
and then I said
basically
Chansey. That's the
Uh,
whole dad joke. That's the dad joke that you all missed.
Anyways, yeah, so Chansey shows up when you start doing chain combos, and I have caught, like, 42 Meowths, and not a single Chansey has shown up. So I have a feeling that I'm never getting a shiny Meowth. Because...
Well, in the like overworld, it sparkles, right?
Yes, it does, yeah. Yep, which is also annoying.
Run into it that it's a shiny, shouldn't you?
What? I didn't hear the
You
first
should.
part.
I'm just saying. You should know when you walk into
Yes.
a shiny.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not like Pokemon Go. You never know, because the overmap of Pokemon Go just shows you the normal, coloring of the Pokemon. It's when you click on it or tap on it in Pokemon Go, it'll have the different colorization, and it'll have a star shot pop up. With the shinies in Let's Go, it has like the sparkles around it and whatnot, and it is the color of a shiny. So it's wicked easy to notice. But in saying that it's wicked easy to notice. If
You did not cut out for that, by the way. I heard all of that.
Beautiful. I'm very happy that I did not cut out because you needed to hear that. The thing that's annoying is that there's the size bonuses in Let's Go, and the size bonuses, like bonus Pokemon, have a very similar shine, like shimmeriness to them as a shiny Pokemon. So there have been multiple times where I see the size bonus Pokemon, think it's the shiny, and I'm disappointed because it's not.
Sad trombones everywhere.
Exactly. So it is like, and Meowth is another one. Like, Meowth is a small Pokemon, so it's kind of hard, like, to see it pop sometimes. I don't know. It's weird. So yeah. I don't know if I ever will get a shiny Meowth. I'm gonna try my damnedest. So if I do get a shiny Meowth, I will post it to the Twitter. But who knows when that will be. But so yeah, I've taken a break from Pokemon Let's Go. I haven't really been playing anything else since that, which is weird. Like, I feel like I want to be playing video games, but I just haven't. Mainly because of movies, I think, because like Endgame came out, a lot of like big movies have been coming out, and so I've been paying attention to those. So that's like I'm not playing video games as much. It's weird. But speaking of movies,
It happens.
yeah,
It happens. I mean, I've been playing the same video games over and over, so I understand.
yeah. So, but speaking of of movies, Jesus. Speaking of movies,
Again, the other one. You want the other one.
The other form of media that melts your brain. Anyways, so here
According to Mickey, yes.
Yes.
According to Timothy Oliphant, yes, it will melt your brain.
So the movies that I have watched, since Tuesday, since we recorded, are as follows.
It's only been 6 days.
It has been
1 day
6
less
days.
than our usual recording time.
Exactly. So I have watched Inkheart, because on the Say Report, it is, well, I mean, it is, I guess, for, yep. Happy Brenda Fraser month, everybody. We're there again. So they discuss Inkheart on their episode. Watch Scream 2.
I wish I had a good Brendan Fraser quote there, but I got nothing. So.
I wish I had something from Inkheart, but I got nothing, even though I just watched it. I guess I've only watched 4 movies. I thought I watched more. Yeah, but it's only been 4. It's Inkheart, Scream 2, which sucked.
I know, it's the worst, isn't it? It's the absolute worst fucking movie.
We'll circle back to Scream 2, everybody.
It's nothing but Friends references and Jamie Kennedy dying. It's the worst.
I know. And then I watched Titan AE.
You watched Titan AE?
Yes.
How did you not tell me you watched Titan AE? Hold on. I love Titan AE.
Because I didn't know this would be the reaction. And I'm
love that movie.
So happy right now.
I finished my nap. That is one of the best lines ever written for film.
Yeah, so we watched Titan AE last night. I did not know that you were a fan of this fantastic movie. And we also watched Car Wash
Titan AE is
again.
a movie that I only ever remember Titan AE as like that was a movie that Sejan and I went and saw in the $2 theater because
really?
nobody thought it was good, and then Sejan and I spent $4 to go see it, and our minds were blown.
That movie, so Devin, like we have a bunch of movies recorded on the DVR, and we're trying to clean off the DVR because we don't have space on it. So for Cinco de Mayo, our plan was to watch 2 movies. One of the movies was going to be Car Wash, because if we got drunk, we've seen Car Wash, and we could be drunk while watching Car Wash. I don't know if you've ever seen Car Wash.
You're talking about, like, the Snoop Dogg movie? Car Wash?
No, Snoop Dogg is not in it.
He's in a version of Car Wash. Hold on. Which version did you watch? Which year did yours come out?
Like 70...
Oh, okay. So you watched the original Car
Yes,
Wash. There was
the
a remake
original.
with Snoop Dogg in the
early
2000s. Okay.
No. I did not even know there was a remake. No, we watched the original Car Wash, which, like, amazing film. And so the other movie was Titan AE, and I was like, I read the synopsis thingy on the DVR, and I'm like, yeah, okay, this sounds, like, good. I don't want to watch something sad. I want to watch something, like, fun and, whatever. And I read it, and then Devin started it, and the fact that it was animated blew my fucking mind.
Did you happen to see the writing credits on that movie?
I don't know.
That's a Joss Whedon film, along with when he was also working. That was like something he did right after he also was on the writing team for Toy Story.
Yeah. Yep.
So like he did Toy Story, he did Titan AE, and then he started making his own movies. But yes, Titan AE is one of the few Joss Whedon films not directed by Joss Whedon.
Yeah. Yes. So I did notice that. But yeah, the fact I totally read that as like a live action movie, and it also, the DVR, the television, like, described it as after the world is destroyed, teens, like, plural, discover a map to a new world.
Because they're, like, 19, and so it's like...
And it's like, oh, okay, cool. So, and for some reason I was like, okay, this is gonna be live action. And then it starts with, like, beautiful animation. And I was like, oh, okay, so maybe this is gonna be... like a Rockadoodle situation, but reversed.
I
Like
love that you can call it a rockadoodle situation. Other great movie.
Rockadoodle is one of my favorite all-time movies of all
God
time.
bless you, magnificent man.
It is. I could watch Rockadoodle every day of my life. And I if I had easy access to Rockadoodle every single day, could I watch that movie? Anyways, so I 100% was like, oh, okay, so cool. This is gonna start animated, and then somehow it's gonna become live action. And that quickly went out the door once everybody was leaving Earth. I was like, oh no, this is animated and it's beautiful. And I was like, Devin, what year did this come out? He's like 2000.
2000 or 2001, yeah.
2000.
Yeah, because that was right around the time of like Quest for Camelot and Anastasia and a couple of other things that like Fox and WB were trying to compete with Disney.
Yeah.
And Disney was like just kind of floundering enough that like that's also the same year you get like Treasure Planet. Like right around that time you get Treasure Planet and you get Atlantis and all that other stuff.
So Devin and I were talking and I'm like, this like it felt like those movies, that animation, but it was just like smoother. And it's Don Bluth, right? Is that his name?
I believe Don Bluth is Don Bluth. I believe it's Don Bluth is did Titan AE. Did he?
Yes, he did. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Sure I had the name right.
Yeah, Wereback and Rockadoodle and Rover, Dangerfield, a bunch of other stuff. Yes.
Yeah. So it is
Land Before Time.
Yeah. So it is Don Bluth. It's a Don Bluth movie, and I was like, oh, it's crazy. Like it feels. I thought it was like the same. The Treasure Planet and stuff. It feels like a Treasure Planet movie. And Devin was like, well, Disney was actually trying to imitate this because this worked so well that they were like, crap, we need to do this. And it also feels like Iron Giant in a way too.
Oh yeah, because here's the thing. Don Bluth was a Disney animator for years, and then he left to make his own movies.
Yeah, I know.
He went and made Secret of Nim and all of that, and then he went to make his own movies, and then his movies started to become more popular than Disney stuff because Disney started to flounder in the late 90s going into the 2000s, and all of a sudden Disney was like, we need to play catch up with our old animators.
Yeah. Which, like, screw you, Disney. Sorry, but screw you,
and then
Disney.
and then Brad Bird makes Iron Giant, and Disney and Pixar turn around and go, well, fucking get that guy. He's gonna make all of our movies forever.
Exactly. Which, like, again, Iron Giant is after Titan AE, right? Or when did Iron Giant come
right around the same time. I'd have to look up the year, but I want to say it's like early 2000s, so it's like all in that string of time. Yeah.
But like I was watching Titan AE. And it's just that the whole if you've never seen Titan AE, you should. But first of all, but it takes place in space, basically like what I just described. It is the Earth has been destroyed by aliens because the aliens are afraid of what humans can be capable of, and then it takes place in space the rest of the time, and it's basically about trying to find the spaceship that I'm gonna spoil the whole movie for you.
I mean, it has all of the it's like Noah's Ark. They're looking for Noah's Ark in space,
pretty much.
Like all of the Earth DNA, so they can recreate Earth somewhere.
So they can recreate the Big Bang. Like
basically,
that's what happens at the end of that movie. Is that they create another Big Bang, and Earth too, new Earth.
Is that Matt? Is it Matt Damon that's voicing the main guy?
Yeah. And let me tell you something, Zack. The whole time I was watching Titan AE, I kept looking at Devin and being like, is that Matthew Broderick? No. Is that the guy who voices Hercules? No. Is that a Spider-Man of some kind? No. And I just like kept rattling off these names and all within the vicinity of Matt Damon, but never getting to Matt Damon.
No. Matt Damon also was Spirit the horse, right?
No,
that was Matt Damon that did that voice. I'm pretty certain he was the voice of Spirit.
Are you kidding me? Because
I might be wrong.
Let's be fair. True,
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty certain that Matt Damon is the voice of Spirit the horse.
If this is true, you just blew my fucking mind. I need you to know that. And also Drew Barrymore is in this, to which turned to Devin, right? It's Drew Barrymore. Yes. I turned to Devin, and I was
is
like...
she the other person in that? I don't remember anyone
she's
but
Akima.
Matt Damon being in that movie.
Oh, yeah,
by the way,
Akima.
Matt Damon is definitely Spirit.
What?
Stallion of the Cimarron. Yeah, 2002. So there was a string of time where Matt Damon was like, I'm going into fucking voice work for a little bit.
I loved Spirit as a kid. I loved that movie.
That's DreamWorks. That's even DreamWorks getting into the 2D.
Gosh, that movie, I loved Spirit. I saw it with one of my best friends, like, who's, like, still one of my closest friends from kindergarten, and she and I saw that. Oh, it's so good, Spirit. Anyways, back to Titan IE. I hear Drew Barrymore's voice, and I was like, and I said, oh, that's Cameron Diaz. But 100%, I meant Drew Barrymore.
To be fair, they were in Charlie's Angels together.
Yeah. I just messed up their names. And I was like, and then afterwards I saw her name, and I'm like, Devin, you know that I meant Drew Barrymore, right? And he goes, yeah, I do. It's fine. But I see Matt Damon's voice, and I'm like, I knew it. I knew it was like that kind of dude. And then I was looking at the trivia today, and I guessed Matthew Broderick, and Matthew Broderick was considered to voice Kale in Titan AE.
Because everybody wanted fucking Simba in everything.
Yeah, I mean, but, oh god, my coffee. I'm getting so excited about Titan AE. But Jesus, that movie, it is so good. Like, is way better than, like, it has any right to be, I guess.
Definitely. Because when you think about, here's the thing, Anastasia does not hold up. Quest for Camelot barely holds up. So many things from that era barely hold up, and Titan AE is just like that one that got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. Like, it's just like, you have these huge space scenes, right, that look as well as, like, things today look that happen in space. And it's like, okay, all right, so you got that down. And then they went to that other planet that have there's, like, I don't know how much you remember, but it has those, like, hydrogen bombs.
Oh, yes. Every time it's got, like, the mushrooms that, like, if you pop them, they blow up, basically.
Because they're just, like, balls of hydrogen.
Yes.
And so that
the space version of the Princess Bride swamp of death or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That entire sequence is gorgeous. And, like, those hydrogen bombs are just insane. And all of the water work on that planet, all of the dregs that are the aliens that destroyed Earth, that are just energy. They are pure sources of energy. Look like pure sources of energy. Like, it's amazing what it does. And then, like, you go forward in the movie, and it takes that step even higher when they are fighting, and it's not even a fight. It's like a standoff situation in these ice rings of some planet. But because they're using the reflection of the ice to hide themselves, and oh my god, it is more beautiful than modern stuff that is being done in some cases. And I was just blown away. I can't believe how blown away by this movie I was. And I'm so happy that it exists.
It makes me so happy that it still has that impact, because that's exactly what Sejin and I felt sitting in like the shittiest theater we could possibly sit in.
Yep.
And watching that movie is like, that's the exact way to be exposed to that movie by accident.
Oh yeah.
Because
totally. Like, I mean, when I say it blew my mind that it was animated, like, it started and I was just, wait, what? It took me a second to be, oh, this is animation. Okay, let's see where it goes from here. And yeah, no, it's incredible. And, like, the cast is incredible too. Bill Pullman, John Leguizamo, Gene, oh Can't think
Hackman?
of her. Not Gene Hackman.
Oh.
She is. Oh God, she's in Wet Hot American Summer. She's in Truth About Cats and Dogs. Oh God.
Joan Cusack?
No, Joan Cusack.
Janine Garofalo.
Yes, thank you. Yes. She is in it. Like we said, Matt Damon, Drew Barrymore. I mean, it's just like this huge all-star cast, and John Leguizamo as Goon. Just everybody should go to YouTube, because I really hope it exists, and if it doesn't, I'll make it, of just like a Goon compilation, because Goon is the best character.
Can we all just agree about the fact, by the way, that John Leguizamo is going to go down as one of the best fucking character actors ever?
Oh, yeah.
Just ever?
Yeah. He's fantastic.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. But it's just, that movie is a treasure, and it needs, and it should be, and everybody should see it.
I'm so happy about that, and I'm also so happy about one of the other movies you watched this weekend. It was a good weekend.
Inkheart? Are you really happy about Inkheart? You cut out, so I didn't get
I've never seen Inkheart.
I didn't get to hear
I've
your
never seen
reaction.
Inkheart. I've never seen Inkheart. Is where it's going. Talk about Scream 2. Talk about Scream 2 and how fucking great Laurie Metcalf is. Can we talk about that for a second? Oh my God, she's the best version of Pamela Voorhees.
Of course we can talk about Scream 2. Of course we can talk about Scream 2, because you're a jerk. You are a jerk, Zachary Sarek.
I'm sorry.
Because...
Did you just call me Sejin?
No?
I'm pretty certain you did. We're going to roll back that tape.
Zachary Sarek.
I'm pretty certain you just called... Okay,
I didn't. I did not call you CJ.
I'm blaming the connection on that one. For now, I will go back and listen to the tapes later.
I said you are a jerk, Zachary Sarek.
I can't imagine why. I've never done anything.
You have introduced me to the Scream movies.
Yeah, I have.
And that's why you're a jerk.
You cannot see the dance I'm doing right now. I am so happy that this has worked out this way.
Oh, man. I mean, like, I am too. I just never expected to be, like, a Scream fan. I never expected to watch those movies. And then you were just like, yeah, no, but what's happening? Like, I'm forcing you to watch these movies. You're stuck here. Like...
Yeah, like I brought Mad Max as like a trick. It was a Trojan horse. Like, do you want to watch Mad Max or do you want to watch Scream 2? Well, you're letting me choose, so we're gonna watch Scream 2.
Yeah, well, you were the guest in my home. It was like a real like sinister plot. You're like, yeah.
There was no way we were watching a Mad Max movie that day.
No.
It just wasn't happening.
It was not happening. No, I just like. So I've talked about Scream and how much I loved Scream. And oh my God, Scream 2 has Laurie Metcalf in it.
I know. I love that it continues this whole thing, this whole thread of you watching it and going, "What the fuck? Yeah. Wait, what the fuck? What the fuck? What is she doing in this movie?"
And fucking Jerry O'Connell, which like you might have said he was in this movie, but totally left my brain. And then this just popped into my head. They were in the Big Bang Theory together. Maybe not on the same episode, but they show up in the Big Bang Theory together as mother and son. So like, stupid connections in this world. But cause Jerry O'Connell plays Sheldon's older brother in the Big Bang Theory.
I never knew that. I have gone this many years without knowing that.
Well, now you do.
Jerry O'Connell.
And Laurie Metcalf is Sheldon's mom.
I remember that one. I remember
her
showing up for that because she shows up in like early season enough that I was still watching. But
yeah, no, it's this one. The Jerry O'Connell stuff comes way later because it comes like after the young Sheldon stuff. But yeah,
they have to start like making sure that their lore is consistent,
which it's not. But anyways, yeah, like the fact that oh God, Scream 2, and I'm just happy. So I can only imagine how much fun watching these movies are with me is.
It's so good. You have no idea how hard it is, but it's like this is like my favorite this is the franchise. And the way that Fallout is the franchise that will always be the franchise that made me in like hardcore into games.
Yeah.
Scream is the franchise that made me hardcore into movies. Not just horror movies,
Wow.
but movies. Because I was like, I liked movies before. Scream was the thing that made me go, I want to watch a bunch of fucking movies now.
I mean, that's awesome. That's
Oh
fantastic.
man,
Like,
and I just like the fact that like you sit down and I get to like the surface level is every scene in that movie introduces another random person for you to go, what the fuck are they doing here? It starts with Omar Epps and Jada Pinkett Smith
yeah.
and goes
Like,
into Joshua Jackson and goes into Jerry
oh
O'Connell and
god.
Timothy Olyphant and Laurie
It's crazy. It's crazy
a
how many
bigger role
people.
this time.
Oh god, it's crazy how many people are in these movies that I'm like,
And,
what the hell?
and it's weird how much that is part of almost the meta narrative of Scream.
Yeah.
Because the meta narrative of Scream being let's talk about like old 70s and 80s horror movies, part of that the fun of going back and watching those movies is going back and watching like Jamie Lee Curtis at the start of her career.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing like George Clooney in Return of the Killer Tomatoes, in Return to Horror High,
Yeah.
and just seeing people at like the very fucking start of their careers, and then being like, oh, it's what the fuck are they doing
Yeah.
in this movie?
Yeah.
I think Leonardo DiCaprio is in like Critters 4. Like that's one of his earliest movies, and I think it's a fucking Mystery Science Theater 3000
Oh
episode.
jeez.
Like it's just great. And
Well,
so to go back and watch a Scream movie and not watch someone be like discover these
oh, you cut out.
before these movies came out and went, no, you know what? I'm gonna be in this movie too because quite frankly, it's Wes Craven. He's got some cred, and these movies make money. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go be in this movie for 5 minutes.
You cut out. You did cut out for a second in the beginning of that, but I think
It's
we got your
okay.
point.
I was very excited
Um,
about people. Yeah.
about people. No, I mean but that also brings up the whole thing of like horror is kind of like the jumping off, which I've never really experienced this or really got this, but horror is kind of like if you want to get into movies and if you want to get into making movies or being in movies or being around movies, horror at least was, maybe not so much now, but at least was the thing that like if you can get your foot in on a horror production, then you're and you can like make it, you're gonna go far. Like, because you bring up George Clooney, Jamie Lee Curtis, like these are all people. I mean, even as a director, like even directors, if you start with a horror movie, you know, it's you're gonna go far. Which is crazy to me because I feel like horror. I don't know what just happened. You like sounded like a ghost for a second.
Oh, that was weird because I wasn't saying anything. You cut out, and so I was waiting for the thing to come back to see if I could guess where you were in the sentence.
It's crazy to me that like that's kind of the thing because I feel like horror is such a specialized. I don't know, like
Here's the
it's a
thing: if
much
you want to
more
do,
like targeted genre. Do you know what I mean?
yes,
Like
it's
you're
a
only
niche. It's a
hitting
niche audience.
Yes.
It
Thank you.
is and it isn't. Here's the thing about that: horror and sci-fi to a lesser extent
Yes,
have always
true,
done this.
True.
Because it started in like the early days of cinema in the studio system, which was you can make a horror movie or a sci-fi movie for cheap, and then it doesn't matter if it like releases as like number 10.
Yeah.
If it makes $2 million and you made it for 30,000, it
It doesn't matter. Yeah. And that's very true.
it right. And so like, and that has always continued because here's the thing: the Friday the 13th remake in 2009 had Jared Padalecki, who was still in Supernatural at the time, and Daniel Panabaker, who's on The Flash now.
Yep.
And like half the people in that movie were extras on CW shows.
Yeah.
because
and
that's kind of what you do is you start on TV and then it's like I'm gonna make a movie. I'll make a horror movie for like give me $20,000 and I'll be in whatever movie you want, and then that's your jumping off point to a larger movie career.
well, it's weird too because Danielle Panabaker and like her sister, the Panabaker like Panabaker sisters were also like Disney people too.
Oh yeah,
So, and they had a movie together called Read It and Weep, which is a really weird movie because I don't remember the younger sister's name. The younger Panabaker and Danielle Panabaker, one of them writes in a diary, and the other one is like the diary come to life kind of thing. It's weird. Read It and Weep is a weird movie. And I can't believe that I am now remembering it. But yeah, so it's like Disney became this jumping off place too, and then you add that horror into it. And
right.
you add into it's like, yeah, you're going to be a known name.
And it's so funny when you go back into like the early 2000s when the remake like smashes started happening because like House of Wax has I think Paris Hilton and
I think so.
Chad Michael Murray from One Tree Hill. Like that's their stars in that movie.
The thing about Scream and the thing about Scream 2 is I love, and again, because I know there are people out there and who haven't seen Scream or Scream 2, and like these are movies that I don't want to spoil for somebody if they've never seen it. I don't want to be the spoiler for it, right? Because they somehow have not been spoiled for me, which is crazy to me. Like, there's a lot of movies that have been spoiled. Like, Friday the 13th has been spoiled. All the Halloween movies, like, I know how those turn out from, discussions and stuff. The Scream movies, both times, while, yes, I was not surprised at who the killers were, or killer, but it still was great not knowing the entire time.
Because those movies are so good at throwing literally everyone at you.
Look at how many times
you spent that whole movie going, oh, it's them.
Yes.
Oh, it's them. Oh, that's them now. I think it's them.
Yeah.
Like every time someone had a conversation, you walked away thinking at least one of those people was the killer.
Exactly. And I think Scream 2 does such a good job because it, I kept thinking, this is crazy. This is going to be a crazy poll. But 22 Jump Street, the sequel to 21 Jump Street. The 22 Jump Street does this thing where they make a lot of sequel jokes, and they really work for me. Sequel jokes, acknowledging that you're a sequel, and like acknowledging that sequels are usually terrible. Those kind of jokes really work for me if you can pull them off. And the fact that Scream 2 really leans into that.
I love that Scream 2 opens with a discussion of sometimes sequels are better, and they're just like, they're not pretending like they might be better. They're just like, sometimes it happens.
They just are. Exactly. So, like, that's like a perfect moment because it's like, oh, okay, thank you for like having this discussion in your movie, which is a meta movie anyways. Like, it's cool that they really lean into it. And the fact that there was even more uncertainty about who the final killer was. Like, I remember watching the first movie and being like, okay, so it's him. Oh, they're dead now. Okay, so it's them. Oh, they're dead too. Crap.
Most of the people that you were concerned about for Scream 2 were still alive in that last scene.
And I said that to you. And I'm like, every single person who I have guessed is still alive. So I am so lost. And it's like, oh my God.
And on top of that, they're all in the last scene at that point.
Yeah.
You keep walking into the screen and you go, oh, of course it's them. And then the next thing happens, you go, oh shit, it's them?
Exactly.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like, yes, while less surprising, still such an amazing feeling for the people or the person who the killer is to be the killer. And oh my God.
And they managed to pull off the surprise like bad guy, because that was the thing that slashers especially fell into for a long time, which was
Mm.
sometimes it was just a random fucking person you didn't know about.
Yes.
Sometimes it was just someone who would appear in the last 5 minutes, which
Yeah.
again, like Friday the 13th is the best example of that because Pamela Voorhees does not show up until about 2 minutes before she reveals she's the killer
Yeah.
in that movie. And so like the fact that they took that idea and went, we're going to surprise you with this, but there's a reason to surprise you
Why?
with that
Yeah, exactly. And I just
way
I
in this movie.
oh, you got cut off. I thought you finished. I thought you finished
Okay.
talking, but you got cut off
No, you're
by
good.
the
Keep
internet.
going.
I don't know what you just said.
I don't know what I just said either. Keep going.
That's fine. No, I just like I really appreciate how it's able to like turn it up a notch and just keep you questioning. Like it's almost like they were like, so the entire time people were watching Scream, they were saying, this is it, this is it, this is it, this is them, this is who did it, this is who did it. We're gonna fuck with them in Scream 2. And we're not
By
killing
making
anybody.
and,
Cause
and
like
on top of that, they make Timothy Olyphant the most obvious. Like the second he reveals himself. He's one of the two
yes.
killers, everybody. I'm sorry to spoil that. But here's the thing. It's not a fucking surprise when he says he's one of the killers.
Exactly.
He
Well,
shows up,
like,
starts talking crazy because he's fucking Timothy Olyphant. And you go, oh, of course.
well, but like the thing about that too is yes, okay, Timothy Olyphant, one of the killers, right? Okay, that's not a surprise. The I mean the other one's not that much of a surprise, but anyways, but at the same time, there. Anyways, Timothy Olyphant, like there's that moment where I said, I'm like, oh, it's definitely him. It's 100% him. And then in the next scene, I was like, no, that's too obvious. That's too on the nose for this movie to and then so like it has you second guess yourself, like just like the characters are doing. Because a lot of the discussion, like Randy and Dewey have a discussion. Jesus, a discussion about like who the suspects are, and you know
They
it's
take
like
our audience surrogate to the best
yes,
level
yeah, they
in
really
this
do.
movie because it's just
And
because the thing is they're smart enough to not have just one.
yeah,
Everybody can also be an audience surrogate on top of also everybody can be the killer. And
yeah,
so you don't know who to trust in
yeah.
that because is it the guy who's questioning everything
Mm-hmm.
or is it the person
You got cut off again. You got cut off again. I'm just
in
gonna
air
keep.
quotes?
You got cut off again. So I don't know what you
I
said.
said questioning everything again, but in air quotes, so it sounded sinister.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
like
The other thing too is like the deaths in this movie are like not. I don't want to say somehow less, but like it just feels like there's less deaths in this movie, and less deaths that like they mean something. But in the other in the first Scream, it's like, oh shit, okay, yeah, that makes sense that this person died. Oh yeah, it makes sense that this person died. They're a main character, of course they're going to die. Like a lot of non-main characters bite it in Scream 2, and it's like, okay, so then why are these people dying? It's later explained why, and it makes 100% like
it makes the most sense in the most insane serial killer
yes,
way
it
that something
really
makes sense.
does.
I love it.
And it's just like, oh god. Here's the thing. We're trying to really like dance around the subject of Scream and Scream 2 to try and not give spoilers away. I 100% think that at some point we should just do a complete like spoiler,
Like a screencast,
like a
top to bottom,
yes,
1 through 4. Let's talk
yes,
about all of these. Yeah.
yes, because there are things that I want to talk about, but you know,
Oh, there are things I still want to talk about going forward because here's the thing about Scream 3. I talk about it as the lesser of the 4 films. Scream 3 is all about that studio system stuff we just talked about.
yes,
Of like people getting their foot in the door through horror, and sometimes that doesn't work out, and all of this other shit that goes on. Like that's all part of what Scream 3 is doing.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy. I still can't believe how much how into the Scream movies I am. and I because if I was not enjoying them, you would know, Zach. I feel you know that you would know. But geez, they're like really, really fun.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But yeah, I'm excited to watch Scream 3 and Scream 4. Yeah, it's crazy. Never would have thought that I would have watched these movies. It's crazy. Oh, gosh.
All right. I think we've tried very hard to keep this episode going, but we need to call it. I think just because we keep cutting out on each other.
Oh yeah, no. I think sorry guys if this episode was unbearable to listen to because of the cutting out. I apologize.
I'm going to try this week to figure out what's going on with my internet because it is on my side. I can entirely guarantee you all that. But I'm going to try and figure it out before next episode.
But we just there's too much good stuff to like restart episodes sometimes. But yeah, so hopefully by the next week we will figure this out. Let us know if it's really truly that unbearable to listen to.
I know you opened, but do you want to do?
See, you just cut out again. This is.
It all gets recorded.
You just cut out.
I just got cut out. There we go. Which actually proves the point I was making. If you want to do all of the recording stuff,
that's fine.
Stuff, so that it all gets recorded.
Yeah. That makes sense. All right, so everybody, from Dale, this is when Say Report Jr. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. No, sorry, I just felt like a YouTube video. If you should be listening to us every week, downloading us, all that good stuff. You can find us on YouTube. If you search Say Report Jr., it's Junior JR, period, not spelled out. And I think we're, if not like 100% caught up, we should be pretty close to
the last like 2 or 3 eps. I gotta make sure I get to. Yeah.
So you can listen to all the episodes on YouTube. You can follow us on Spotify because we are now on Spotify, everybody. You can find us on Spotify. All of the episodes are there. You can also follow us on Twitter at sayreportjr. You can follow us both individually on Twitter. I am at Dale's Brain. And perfect that Zack got cut off from the internet as he was
exactly.
saying.
I didn't hear you say at Dale's Brain, so I wasn't sure if I should talk about your whiskey. Anyway, God.
Beautiful. I'm so happy that that's how it worked.
Exact timing. Oh God.
Oh, amazing. This is live. This is live, everybody. It's not really live. We could have stopped. Whatever. Anyways, I also just want to say real quick, I'm so excited for Detective Pikachu, and here's why I'm so excited for Detective Pikachu. If you follow me on Twitter at Dale's Brain, I'm gonna say it again. My name on Twitter now is Detective Dale Chew, and that's.
I taught Dale that you could change your name.
Yes, and that's dangerous. But yes, I am Detective Dale Chew, and I think we all need to get ice cream.
And I am Justice Sarowick. Anyway, I'm not, but I'll change it now. The end.
Oh, Justice Sarowick. Oh my God. Take it away, Liz, because Zack definitely just got cut off again. Just take it away, Liz. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to The Say Report with your hosts Dale Decker and Zack Sarowick. Please follow the guys on Twitter and Facebook by searching for The Say Report, and you can always subscribe on your podcast channel so this is delivered straight to you and you can enjoy it every week. With apologies to your mother, we'll see you next time.